Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Level Up Programming Academy. This is where people who are tired of watching tutorials come to actually learn how to code. In this class, you will not just be told what to do, you will understand why it works. It doesn't matter if you are a complete beginner or you already know something. What matters is that you are ready to learn properly. Lupa is designed to take you from confused to confident. By the way, my name is Oro Confidence and I'll be the major tutor, step by step. If you are serious about tech, this is where you start. So stick with me, get your device, your internet ready, and let's start coding. Like I say, if you can think, you can code. Okay, so let's go. So before we start, I would love to explain why beginners need to be familiar with HTML. HTML is a very solid way for any beginner to start coding. It introduces you to a lot of things. It gives you that euphoria of actually learning how to code. It makes everything easier and simpler for you because as you are coding, you are seeing your results. But take note, HTML in itself is not a programming language, but it's it's a good way to start. Let's put it that way. It's a good way to start. So we're going to start with HTML, and we need HTML because without it, nothing exists on the web, and you'd want to dive into web development, of course, even while you are learning programming. It's something you can even do as a side also. You have a friend, you have a family, that uncle, that auntie that needs a website for our school is there. So you can always make money from those just by knowing HTML, JavaScript, and CSS and knowing how to host. And I will teach you everything. You would learn a lot. So let's go. HTML is you need program language like JavaScript. You need HTML where you can actually work on because without HTML, JavaScript does not have anything to work on. So it works on HTML like scripting languages like PHP and others. So let's get started. The first thing to do is to create your file, add index.html. The reason why we are using index is because of whenever you are uploading your hosting your file on the back end or on a hosting service, they always look for the word index. The file that has an index, that's going to be like the main door to your website that they are going to host first as like your home page. And then dot is your extension .html. No, we are not doing Python, we are not doing JavaScript, we are doing HTML. So then let's start. Let's write hello world. Let's save it. Save it, you can see the result on the left. Hello world. This is not right because of course we didn't add any tags. So tags are important in HTML and I'll show you why. If you press F12 on you go to the developers console, Control Shift plus I, inspect, you'd see you'd see why it's wrong. As you can see, there's no structure to it. They just added this one to like display it, but what we did is technically not correct, so we have to use tags. So tags in HTML, we have different types of tags, and you knowing tags will help you to really go far. So let's get started. There's a boilerplate code you can always use. Shift plus one will get you the boilerplate code, which should make you ready. This is it. Make sure this down from this the boilerplate code. But I want you to first understand it. So let me explain. Doc type HTML is a declaration tag. We are declaring what type of document we are doing. Of course, it's HTML. HTML tag is the tag where all your other tags must exist, and you specify the language. It's English. It can be US, of course, but it's English. So I made a mistake. Hold on. Yes, it can be US. or UK. But let's just leave it with English. In English, yes. Control S, save your work. Then the head tag stores all your meta information like this. Your meta name tells you the types of dimension. This is like it helps with responsiveness. It helps with responsiveness in your website. It gives you the initial scale your page is going to take. UTF-8 talks about the encoding as you can see down here where my cursor is. Select the encoding. So UTF-8 shows you the encoding you are using. Title, this title tag is used to set the title of your document. So let's say our title is um bank, let's say bank app, and save it. Once you refresh, you see the changes immediately. Bank app, although our hello world is gone because there's no tag representing it. So I'll go through a few tags so for you to get familiar with them. The first type of tag we have, they don't come in any specific order, but I'll treat them that way. H1 tag or header. VS Code, it helps you just type it and to bring it out. So the H1 tag is used for writing headers. H1 will always be the biggest, H2 is smaller, and goes on like that. And I'll explain. So if we copy this and paste it a few times, you see what I mean. We change this to H2s, this to H2, sorry, H1. I save. So let's change to H3. See, it gets smaller as you go. So that's the good thing about header tags. H1 will always be the largest. So HTML is simply a text file that is displayed on the web. It is not a programming language, but it will help you. It will really, really help you. So let's move on. We've talked about what tags are and we've explained what the head tag is, the HTML tag is, and the body tag. So let's move further, or let's move forward. So let's talk about links, how to add links. You've seen link in there. There's no web page that doesn't have a link. We also have nav. Nav is also a type of tag. Let's go. Nav. This is the nav bar. Yes. So your nav bar can contain a set of links directing people to different places in your website. So you just press this and you are good to go. So href is referencing the link that you want it to go. Let's say we want to go to our website, and let's say the text that you are going to put here is what is going to show on the website. So let's say um our or visit our website. You save it. Once you click on it, it will load and carry you to the website. Maybe there's an error in the link, so take you to the website immediately. Let's see. Yes, so it works. It works. So the text here is what is going to show on your web page. So let's continue. Let's continue. We also have lists and tables in HTML. So we've talked about navigation. So to create a table, you add the table tag, and then we have table rows and table columns. So table rows, I see they are suggesting codes, but we are going to add code it ourselves because we are trying to understand. So table rows would have the heading. So we'll add that. Let's say work, work. Yes. Let's copy this. Work, school, location. Save it and refresh our work. You can see there we've created a row that has three columns: work, school, and location. And then each of these rows we can copy it, paste it a few more times. Yes, few more times and save. So we have a table. We can give it a border of one. That will help. Let's say one. So now you can see our table. So table is a way of structuring your information on your web page. Most web pages will have tables. So we can minimize this. Do you get the structure? And I hope you are following table rows. So this is the first row and every other one was a copy. So we've discussed so far. So let's keep going. We have other types of tags, adding images too. To add an image to HTML, you simply do the image tag img, then source. These ones that are highlighted in red, they are called attributes, and attributes are they are like parameters that the tags are not necessary though, but you would need them. Different tags have different attributes that they can take, and they must take in some cases. So here for our image tag to show an image, you must fill out the attribute of source. And the alternative to the source, this one um is for readability, or let me use a word that would best describe it. Or when you are hosting your website on Google or on the internet, they will need your file to be structured. So in case if your image is broken, what is going to show instead of your image? So let's say um cats, and let's go and look for an image of a cow web page. So you can now add other attributes to the cat tag. There are different types. You can add the width and height. These are specific dimensions we are giving it, as you can see. Let's say you want to add something in the tag locally from your system. You just have to find the image you are working on. Let's look for an image. Let's see this guy. Yes, so I found an image. Paste the image here. Let's drop the image in our folder that we're working on. So after pasting the image, as you can see, download.gff. You can add it here, simply deleting this link and adding the directory. VS Code will help you find it. So we've added an image locally from our system. So HTML is very simple. As you can see, we are seeing your results live and direct. If you're having issues hosting or opening your or seeing your results, you can always DM me and I will explain better on how you can go about the setup. I don't want the video to be too long. So let's continue. We have different types of tags. We've talked about it. So let's quickly talk about lists in HTML. We have unordered lists. We can have an unordered list of items. Let's zoom in on this. An unordered list of items inside our body tags. So UL for unordered list of foods. Let's say apple, pear. Save it. So we have our unordered list here. If you want an ordered list, that's OL. That's the tag for ordered list. save it. We can see it here too. So HTML is very boring without styling. So we are going to go into styling in the next section. I hope you fully understand what HTML is all about. We've talked about the head tag and what it contains, the body tag that it contains everything. So if I minimize it, you can see there's nothing. The body tag contains most of our work. This is the nav tag, the nav bar. It can also be redirecting you to your current web page or your current website. Let's see. So we'll go to the home screen. So we are still on that page. Still on that page. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. I hope you learned something. And this is not just the end. I would advise you to go deeper, to do more research on your own and practice, practice, practice. You will only get better by practicing. Everybody gets better by practicing. If you can think, you can code, and everybody can think. So that means you should be able to code. So thank you very much for sticking to the end. Practice what you've learned in VS Code or any text editor of your choice. Or if you are using a phone, you download Edit. If you are using an iPhone, you can DM me and I'll send you the link to a special app that you can use to practice HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the next videos will be explaining CSS and JavaScript. Thank you very much.